And just as each planet gives its own span of life, they also give their own span of life to every one of us in the form of the consciousness of our polarities. Therefore, we have the two bodies also. Next year I will give you the results of each planetary period, how they are described in the ancient books. Because in childhood there will be no incidents. Almost there will be nothing to discuss unless there is a very serious illness. The calculation is just the same as we calculated the other periods. If you want an example, tomorrow after during the last 15 minutes I will show you the calculation of the first period also. If you want to know how we calculate the sub-periods in Jupiter's period, I will show it tomorrow in the class. Ascendant. Yes, in certain, in some special cases, yes, in certain special cases, when the ascendant is too much afflicted and very weak, we have to find out, first of all, if there is a possibility for the person to live or not. Unless there is a possibility to live, there is no use of calculating the periods and sub-periods. So, when the ascendant shows no possibility of living, for example, when the ascendant is in Cancer and Saturn is on the degree of ascendant, and suppose Sun is in Libra, making an exact square to the ascendant and Saturn. In such a case, the ascendant never shows a possibility for the native to live. Then you have to look to the moon if the person lives or not. If you take the moon as the ascendant, and if you find some good aspects to the moon, that means the person lives and has a span of life. In such a case, there is no use of calculating the planetary periods with the ascendant. You have to take the longitude of the moon instead of the ascendant and calculate the periods in the same way. Those are only special cases. Yes, please, you can directly ask something involved. He can explain the question.
Yes.
You mean about rebirth, your question?
Yes.
Ah, now I understand. I will once again explain your question and verify whether it is the same or not. Do we have any decision to take about our next rebirth? Or do we follow the results of our previous birth? Is it?
Is that correct?
I think it. If it is the automatic result of the karma of the previous birth, there is no necessity of rebirth at all. Because if rebirth were to be a mechanical repetition, it has no purpose to serve. It is always a new opportunity given to the indweller. An opportunity means some choice is left to the indweller. Unless independence and choice were given, how can we call it an opportunity? Suppose if you tie me with ropes to this chair and say, I give one more day opportunity for you to eat, then there is no opportunity to eat. So always a rebirth is a new opportunity given to rectify ourselves and make ourselves better. In order to know the process of rectifying ourselves, we should have an idea of our past and the present. The present horoscope is a book which we can read and have the information about our past karma and the present position. Then we have to take a decision into the future. And as much as we make a change in our life, the planets try to help us, advise us. They use our old tendencies to be used as medicines. That is, we can rectify our tendencies by using some of the tendencies we are having. Suppose a man going in a forest, when there is a thorn in his feet, he can remove that thorn with a bigger thorn from the same forest. Similarly, the good tendencies that are there in our past will help us to make ourselves better and remove our bad tendencies. And the horoscope helps us to know how to do it. According to the action we have taken in that direction depends the quality of our next birth. Otherwise, there is no meaning in evolution. If rebirths were to be like the repetitions of the electronic machine, so they must be under the control of a cruel God who is playing with our lives, which is not possible. That is, so independence is always given to us. The method of using independence is also given to us. No, karma is the mathematical sum total of our past deeds. So no single planet or no single aspect will indicate karma. The whole horoscope works as a sentence to speak out our past karma. Each planet works as a syllable and a word in the sentence. Be able to make out the syllables into words and the words into a sentence. Then the meaning of the sentence is your past karma. So karma cannot be understood through any one planet. Here is a very important point for us to learn. When one partner is spiritually advanced and another is not at all, you can never call them partners, and it is a wrong choice. And a wrong choice will have always its penalty to be paid. The bad karma exists in making a wrong choice where some motive is involved. Unless there is some motive like financial or social, how can a totally wrong choice be made between two partners? So when once a wrong choice is made, then it needs it needs rectification. And even though when biologically they are husband and children, husband and wife, even though they produce children biologically, they are no partners at all, even yesterday or today or tomorrow. So therefore the ancients used to have an astrological advice to select partners. In some backward countries like India, we the traditional families still very strictly follow it. First of all, the parents get a comparison of the two horoscopes. When there is a harmony between the two horoscopes, then they will advise the people to meet each other and see if they like each other. And if they like each other, then they will perform the marriage as a couple. So there is a question of partners only married. In such a case, no problem arises. It's an interesting point that even today in India, though the constitution permits divorce, the percentage of divorce is not even 0.5%. Very negligible. No fellow goes to the court for a divorce in India. if you also follow the planetary selection, here also marriages will be made in heaven. It is not a question of Germany or India. It is only a question whether we have done it according to the right procedure or not. Even in India, nowadays, there are political marriages that are thorough failures. If we do it according to the procedure, it can never be a failure. It's not a question of Germany or India or France. You are expected to know astrology and consult before marriage is conducted. That is one point for success. Another point is not to have any motives for marriage. Suppose there is a financial motive. Suppose a lady inherits a very big property and a house and a garden. On that account, if you marry, it will be a failure. Similarly, suppose there is an emotional disturbance with a lady in the mind. If marriage is conducted on that point, it will be thorough failure. So the second important point is marriage should not be motivated. When these 2 points are observed, there is no reason why we fail in getting married to the right partner. Yesterday, one of you asking about the span of life, that is, how long we have to calculate the periods and sub-periods. To the periods and sub-periods, take the planet in the 8th house from ascendant. The second case, take the planet in the 8th house from the moon. Third case, Lord of the 8th house from ascendant. Fourth point, Lord of the 8th house from moon. So, you should consider these 4 planets at first. See which planet is in the horoscope. If there is a planet in the 8th house, give first place to the planet in the 8th house. If there is no planet in the 8th house, give second place to the planet in the 8th house from moon. And if there is also no planet, then give third place to the Lord of the 8th house. And if these 3 planets are very strong in the horoscope, you have to leave them and take the 4th case. That is planet in the 8th house from moon. So in this order, you should examine these 4 planets, and if you find the weakest of these 4 planets, so that will be responsible for the death. How do you find the weakest? If a planet is in its dignities, it is strong. Yes, I will explain. For example, its own sign or its exaltation sign. Then that planet will not kill because the planet is strong. Strong planets give life to the person and health. So, in the period of strong planets, the person will not be killed. And also, if any planet has a trine with Jupiter or sextile with Jupiter or in conjunction with Jupiter, that planet will not kill. And if one of these planets has these aspects, understand that planet will not kill the native. That means during the period of that planet, the person will not be killed. And if any planet having these aspects from the Lord of that sign, that is, if there is one planet in the 8th house, and if it is having a trine with the Lord of that sign, he will not kill. For example, the 8th house is Aries to a person, and one planet is in the 8th house. For example, Sun is in Aries 8th house to a person. If Mars is in trine to the Sun, this Sun will not kill because Mars is the Lord of Aries. and the Sun from Aries is receiving the trine aspect from Mars. And also in such a horoscope, the Mars is the lord of the 8th house. If he is in if he is in Leo and making a trine with the Sun in Aries, neither Mars nor Sun will kill the person, because Mars is the lord of the 8th house. He is being aspected by Sun, who is the lord of Leo. So same thing is true with both. Sun is in Aries, Mars is in Leo, and when there is a trine aspect between both, Mars is also being aspected by the lord of the sign, just as Sun is aspected by the lord of the sign. In such a horoscope, Sun's period and Mars period will not have his death. And if Moon is in the 8th house and if he is afflicted, then Moon's period will cause his death. Therefore, you can add all the Sun's period and decide which sub-period in the Moon's period will kill him. So in the same way, you have to give these 4 preferences. And the weakest of these 4 planets will cause the death during its period. For example, the Moon is the lord of 8th house in a horoscope, because the 8th house is in Cancer, the sign Cancer, and the Moon is in Pisces, which is not a strong position. And Moon is having a square with Uranus from Sagittarius. Understand, the Moon period is dangerous, and if he gets the Moon period in his life, he cannot complete the Moon period. So we have to find out the sub-period when the death occurs. Because the Moon period is 10 years, you have to find the sub-period in the Moon period. Then once again you consider the same case, and then you will get or with the birth Sun. Then death will surely occur. So if these 2 things coincide, that is, if Moon's sub-period in Moon period occurs, and at the same time one of the 3 vital points are attacked by transit, then the body will be lost. So in transits we have to consider 3 important points.
Sollten wir 3 wichtige Punkte berücksichtigen.
First house is physical body, astral and mental bodies. The Sun is individuality. These are the 3 important centers which govern the equilibrium between body and mind and the mind and the ego. So whenever there is a bad transit to one of these points, the energy links between the two centers, they are very delicate. When the period and the transit coincides, then the thread will be broken. And during this transit also, if suppose Saturn is transiting square of Moon, it coincides with the Moon's period in Moon's period, then you have to stop further calculating. If these 2 do not coincide, you can expect that some serious illness will be there and some rectification of a major type will take place. A rearrangement of the vital faculties will be made. But if he is spiritual enough to behave properly with his food and drink and his thoughts, then there will be not even illness. The major adjustments will be silently done. So if it is in the case of a spiritualist and a yogi, you should not predict any illness, but you should predict a great change in his consciousness, which contributes a lot to the work of the humanity. Because when a man begins to take initiations in its true sense, that means when his mind is working for the humanity, that is one strong point that rectifies the constitution. There should be a second strong point also along with it. That is, he should not misbehave with his food, drink and habits. Even though he is in the service organization, even though he has taken some initiations, if he does not take any care of his body, then his spiritualism will not help, and automatically his body will be damaged. So 2 points should coincide. He should be doing service to humanity, and he should carefully protect his vehicles to do service to humanity. If he protects his cycles without doing service to humanity, that is, if he protects them for himself, even then the higher adjustments will not take place. The result is he will have a very serious illness. He may be taking the best medical care, observing the best principles of diet and rest to the body. Even then he is not excused, because his consciousness is not shifted from the first 3 planes of existence. So he will have a great illness and a compulsory readjustment of vehicles. Like this, you should judge according to the stature of the horoscope. Only when these 2 points coincide, that is the initiation of the consciousness, that his consciousness is shifted for humanity from personal interests. The second point is he is not irregular about his habits of health. So if these 2 principles coincide, then this aspect will not have any significance at all. That is how you have to judge. And similarly, if in the horoscope Mars is not strong, he is afflicted, Mars is in his debilitation, Cancer, then if the person reaches Moon's period, Mars sub-period, it will kill him. Evidently you can understand he may be killed due to an accident or some surgical operation. Or if the sign Cancer is much more afflicted, the Mars receives a square from one of the planets, for example Neptune, then he will have a weak trouble, chest trouble. Most possibly it may be in one of the lungs, and sometimes it may be heart, but the possibility is in one of the lungs. Then he will die with that disease. Then you have to calculate the periods up to Moon's period, Mars sub-period. That means the very next sub-period. Like this, you have to judge according to the birth position of the planets. Decide which 2 planets kill him and calculate the periods of those 2 planets. That is the period of one planet and the sub-period of the other. And during those months, you simultaneously observe the transits on the birth horoscope. Generally, the sub-period extends for about 1 year or few months. And during those months, if a bad transit occurs to the ascendant or the moon, then that is the dangerous period. He may not cross. So you have to calculate the periods up to that period. This is how you have to estimate the periods. Of course, these are only the principles which we have to apply. But while applying these principles, we will have many doubts to be cleared, and you should have some practical cases worked out, and it requires 1 year of calculation work with the horoscopes of people who are already dead, because we know the dates of their death. A research work with their horoscopes will make us understand the application of the principle. Yes. From the birth horoscope, you have to assess the tendencies of suicide. That is, if the horoscope shows negative tendency, that means moon much afflicted in the 8th house or the 12th house, or Neptune afflicted in the 8th house or 12th house, they indicate a tendency to suicide. You have to make a complete judgment of the whole horoscope, because even though the tendencies of suicide are shown in the horoscope, if there is a good aspect from Jupiter, then it will save him from committing suicide. In that case, he may be having very strong ideas for suicide, but by disposition, he will never believe that he should commit suicide. So he should weigh the tendencies of the horoscope. As long as there are strong positive tendencies shown by the moon or the ascendant, there is no possibility for committing suicide. For example, if the Lord of the ascendant is above the horizon, the person is positive by nature, and even though there are afflictions to moon or Neptune, he will not commit suicide. In the same horoscope, if the Lord of the ascendant is below the horizon, then he has negative tendencies and he will commit suicide. Like this, you have to estimate from all the planets. The planet that shows the tendency for suicide also decides the period at which time he will commit suicide. For example, if the moon is afflicted by Neptune, the moon's period or moon's sub-period in any period will cause the possibilities of suicide. And another planet which is afflicting the horoscope, for example, either the moon or the ascendant, will decide the lord of the sub-period. Suppose Mars is opposition to the lord of the ascendant and the moon is afflicted by Neptune in the 8th house, then the period of moon and the sub-period of Mars will cause him suicide, or the period of Mars and the sub-period of moon will cause suicide, and whichever period is earlier, it will cause him suicide. If the moon's period comes first, the Mars sub-period will kill him. If the Mars period comes first, it is the moon's sub-period that kills him. That is the way in which we are expected to calculate. Yes, most the system is almost equal to the houses of Placidus. In India, we have the houses of an ancient astronomer called Aryabhatta. The system is almost equal to Placidus. You have to take the moon as the degree of ascendant. You have to calculate the houses from the degree of moon in the same way as you calculate for the ascendant. Yes, in about 95% of the horoscopes, you have to calculate only in the normal way. That is from Aries to Taurus, Taurus to Gemini. But in horoscopes where the first two initiations took place, when whom you understand very much purified in their emotions and having no personal motives for their living, only in such horoscopes you have to calculate the reverse wheel. Even in the reverse wheel, you find the difference only in the transits and progressions. For all the other purposes, it is the same for both. For example, if you want to calculate periods, it is the same to everyone. The difficulty occurs only in the case of calculating the primary and secondary directions. Even then, in 95% of the horoscopes, you have to calculate it in the normal way. Any other doubts about this? You can get a horoscope of a person who is dead. Because you can proceed in the research way only in a dead horoscope. In living horoscope, even though if we predict the death, it is only in imagination. It may take place or may not take place. So it cannot be a research work. Yes, spiritual training will change, but it requires a person whose planets are in good aspects with the birth planets of the person. Yes. For example, if the moon in a horoscope is much afflicted, enough to cause suicide, and suppose the moon is in Pisces 12 degrees, if there is a spiritual man whose Jupiter is Cancer 12 degrees, then his Jupiter is making a trine with the moon of the person. And also here moon is the lord of the sign in which the Jupiter is. So if these two persons are kept together, the suicidal tendencies will be healed. They should be together until the possible date of suicide is complete. If there is no such relationship, even though he is a great spiritualist, things won't permit for the two people to live at a place. Suppose the suicide is in Spain and the spiritualist is in Munich. Circumstances do not permit them to live at a place. So there should be good fitness between the both. So this is one horoscope which we can take as an example for longevity. You can draw it from this horoscope for yourself. Ascendant is 21 degrees, is it? No, it isn't. We should have at least degrees and minutes. I have to write according to our own Indian method, otherwise I cannot calculate. This is how we use the chart in India. Is it ascendant 20 Gemini? 21 Gemini? Saturn 20? Is it?
Okay.
And then Mercury 7, is it? And Venus, Taurus 15. Pisces 6. Is this ascending node?
Mars.
Capricorn, Uranus and Saturn. On the same degree?
Uranus.
Is it in Scorpio?
Yes. Scorpio.
Yes. Jupiter, Virgo 4. When Moon is in 6 degrees and the ascendant is 21 Gemini, here in this case, the ascendant is very much afflicted at birth and it is between Pluto and Neptune. Neptune is 20, is it? 20 and ascendant is after Neptune but almost in conjunction. Yes, and after ascendant there is Sun. So the ascendant is between Neptune and Sun. So now this is a special case in which you cannot calculate the periods from the ascendant because according to the ascendant the person has no longevity. If you take moon is aspected by Jupiter, you see, and also the lord of the sign of the moon. Jupiter is the lord of the sign of the moon, and therefore you have to take the moon as the substitute of the ascendant and calculate the period at birth. So this is a special case. Now take the Pisces 6th degree as the ascendant. So the period starts with the descending node period because it is in the 26th division. There are 27 divisions. The 27th division belongs